If you go to g4precision.com, you can take the online AR accurizing course published by myself and Gordy Gritters. In this video, I'm going to go over the second half, which is the implementation of accurizing processes. Hey guys, Gavin here from ultimatereloader.com. We're continuing here where I left off in the last video, which covered the evaluation process for your AR or your customer's AR. An entire sequence of steps that results in a scorecard with particular metrics and observations. When we're done with that, we can actually get down and dirty and start the work of this extreme accurizing process, starting with the trigger. Now, because of liability, this is likely to be a suggested drop-in trigger replacement, and that's covered as a part of that lesson. We've also got lapping the bolt lugs, and this is a critical aspect of precision, whether it be a bolt action rifle or an AR. When you've got that 65,000 PSI or whatever pressure your rifle is running at, the lugs and lug seats are forced into contact with each other. If they're not in contact before the rifle was fired, a upsetting harmonic is going to be sent down the barrel, which is going to cause your groups to open up. It's a lot like what you do on a bolt action rifle, but with an AR-15 there are some very specific considerations and steps that are a little bit different than what you'd have with a bolt action rifle. Then the course moves on to refitting the gas block and gas tube. You want that gas tube centered when the bolt carrier is moving forward. You don't want it interfering with the bolt carrier, and there are some very specific steps that can help you align things perfectly. Slugging and hand lapping the bore. This is one of the most important lessons in the entire series. If you don't have consistent bore dimensions, whether it be the lands or the grooves, the bullet is not going to fly straight. It's just one of these things that bench rest shooters have learned, and it applies to all rifles. Consistent bore dimensions are far and away the most important differentiator between a regular barrel and a match barrel. And if you have a regular barrel and you slug and you lap the bore very carefully, you can get that regular barrel much closer to a match barrel in terms of how it shoots. This is not a super easy process. There are some very specific supplies and materials that are used and some very specific techniques. All of that is covered in detail in that lesson. Then we have truing and lapping the receiver and bedding the barrel into the receiver. If you have poor barrel extension to upper receiver fit, your shots are going to fly all over the place. So in the course, you can learn how to tighten that interface up and therefore tighten down your groups considerably. Another important consideration with that barrel extension to receiver fit is the squareness and trueness of that interface on the upper receiver where the barrel extension clamps. And if you put the upper receiver on a lathe, you measure your run out, you can take a very slight cut and true that up so that you have a perfectly perpendicular and uniform seating surface between that barrel extension and the upper receiver. That's also covered in the course and is a super important part of attaining optimal accuracy from your AR. This is an example of one of the lessons in the course where if you don't have a lathe and don't have a mill, Gordy provides alternatives with other tools. So if you don't have a machine shop, don't worry, you can actually do most of these steps without that type of equipment. But if you do have that equipment, you can do things a little quicker or a little better, and that's covered in the respective lessons. So when we slug and hand lap the bore, we're going to inherently mess up the crown. And regardless of whether that lapping has been done, recrowning the barrel can give us that extra bit of precision that we're looking for. That's covered in its own dedicated lesson. Then we have refitting the receivers, upper and lower. If you take a shot and the upper can rattle or move at all in place, It's likely that that movement is going to start to happen before the bullet leaves the bore, and that means we're going to open up our groups, which we don't want. In this course, Gordy takes you through the process of tightening that upper to lower fit a lot so that there's essentially no movement between the upper and lower when the shot is fired. And again, that's another way that we can pick up extra precision from our AR. Finally, Gordy guides you through the process of detailed scope mounting and bedding the rings with the scope tube, and that is another way that this precision instrument, that is the scope, can provide better performance. It's all about taking each of these variables and adding to that equation of precision. If we don't handle all of the variables, we're going to leave some precision on the table, and we definitely don't want to do that. So that's a summary of the accurizing work processes portion of the course. If you go to g4precision.com, you can scroll through the page and again see a preview of the breakdown of the different lessons. If you like what you see, enroll and take the training. I guarantee you're going to see an improvement in how your AR shoots or how your customer's AR shoots. This is a great opportunity for gunsmiths to make money in an area that is underserved in the shooting sports community. Accurate ARs are not nearly as much of a thing as they should be because the accuracy potential is there. And with this kind of training, you'll be equipped to achieve maximum accuracy from your AR. Again, g4precision.com, click on enroll and take the training today. Thank you very much for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.